Hey guys, I'm going to wait until for a few people to get in. We're running a little behind schedule today for various reasons. So just give me a second. I decided to go live directly from YouTube Studios just to see if it's helping with the bandwidth and stuff like that. We'll see if it does. We'll wait for a few people to get in and we'll start chatting about this Marion 3 case, which is pretty interesting. And then I'm going to set up the computer so while we're traveling today, we can still listen to the Letitia Stalk case. So just bear with me. We are just rolling through it this morning. We know we've been having technical difficulties and issues for a little minute now, but I just did not want to. I didn't want to go through StreamYard because I noticed that it's lagging. Good morning, everybody. Cranky Pants, Robert's Girls in the House. Help me, Rhonda. Cool Gamer. Nice to see you. Julie and Okie Crime News. M&M Racing. I haven't seen you. You might have been in the back, but I haven't seen you, so it's nice to see you here this morning. Oh, I see some love, some hearts. Thank you guys. You guys are super sweet. We're just hopefully the internet's running really well today. With it not going through a second service, I'm just running direct on YouTube, hoping that that helps. But the problem is I can't share my screen. I can't put your comments on the screen. That's the bad part about running straight from YouTube. I wish they had more. Stuff live where we didn't have to go to like StreamYard and stuff like that to share screens to go directly through them. So, but it is what it is. So we'll just make do. We're talking about the Marion 3, guys. So what is the Marion 3? So this is all these kids. There's 6 kids involved. I'm sure you guys have heard about it. We've discussed it. It was kind of breaking in Florida. We didn't understand really what was going on. We have a clearer understanding. One of the guys was still on the run. Nice to see you, Sonia, Maddie Down, Patricia. Good morning. TLC Bell, good morning. It's nice to see you here. So, these kids were all hanging out. One was actually, well, when we found out about it, we only knew the kids were killed. They were murdered. We heard of a car being dumped in a nearby lake. And the only names that were really coming out at that time was Layla Silvernail and Camille Quarles. They were found, and they found a boy as well. The male subject, the teen, the boy that was murdered and left in the ditch that was with the girls has not been identified. He has not been identified. We've been searching. I keep thinking it's kind of odd that he's the only person that we have not been able to find out who he is. Good morning, ZA Country Woman. Nice to see you. What else do we have in here? Everybody's waking up. I wish I had my good morning. It's going to be a good day, but I can't because the internet sucks here. Like really sucks. And even when I was booting it up, I'm just like, this is not going to work. Like it feels like it's going from bad to worse. And I'm like, you know what, let me just try it out this way. It's gonna suck a little bit, but well, in the grand scheme of things, we chat more than anything anyways. The good news is I went out to the car and got my handy dandy race track cup, which I've had for about a week, right? Been rinsing it out and using it because it's like a styrofoam little thing and it keeps the coffee warm. Well, here at the hotel, they have little cups like this. Okay. That's not a Bullhorn Betty size coffee cup. I'm sorry. I tried that one day. It didn't work. Thank God for Robin, right? Robin sent me that Starbucks, Starbucks. So I was able to go to Starbucks, and I have to tell you, I ended up getting the caramel ribbon crunch. The caramel ribbon crunch is like, I bounce between that and the peppermint mocha. Peppermint mocha is still my by far favorite, but I'm now starting to become partial to this caramel ribbon crunch, which just has about as much calories in it. Like I can feel myself gaining weight drinking this thing, but I know I need it, right? It's like, I need you. I need you. So anyways, I went out there and I'm sure the lady was like looking at her eye, looking up at me because I put this thing right up under there and I started pouring the coffee out. I'm like, I need coffee. Like I need coffee, coffee. Like yesterday was awful. I didn't hardly have a stick of coffee. I had a very well, yeah, no, yesterday I didn't really have a whole lot of coffee. I told Karen, I'm like, I need to go get some coffee. So we go to this convenience store. Most convenience stores have coffee machines. Of course, I pull into the one store probably in the entire area that doesn't serve coffee. So I had to end up getting a monster, one of the coffee bean monsters. Oh, I like those too, but man, those have calories out the wazoo. Tiptoe, it's nice to see you. It's nice to see you, Vape King. I see you as well. And I said, let's go up here and see what that person says. I see they were timed out. Remove all those false hashtags. No, you don't tell me what to do on my channel. So, no, 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 no. We'll just hide you. We don't need that. I can do whatever I want. You don't like it, too bad. Too bad. Go cry to your mama. Go cry to your mama. We don't care about your Karen habits here. Sorry, Karen. I love you still. We need to change your name. But we don't care. Go cry to your mama. This is not your safe space, believe me. This is not. Actually, you know why I do it? I do it just to annoy people like you. And just to show you I can. And there's nothing you can do about it. Like nothing. Come in here, bitch, and then I block you, and now you got to go create another account to come in here and complain. Sounds like a great life you have. Sounds like a great life. So I'm finding out about this case, and so this is what I found. The good news is the other kid, Tahj Brewton. Remember, he was on the run when we first heard about this case, and we heard Marion County Sheriff come out, and he was pissed. Let me be honest with you. The Marion County Sheriff was very highly upset. A lot of people don't realize this. I mean, normal people do. But officers, they don't want to be cleaning up bodies, okay? That's why when motorcycles are driving erratic and down the road, they'll pull them over, and they'll probably give them a harsher ticket and probably won't give them a warning, as opposed to maybe a driver that's making a careless mistake. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they're the ones that have to go out there and clean those scenes. And so what these officers have to endure every day when they have to handle homicide, they do it because they want to help their community. They don't do it because it somehow pays them. Trust me, what they have to endure and see each and every day and go through, and the mental stuff that affects them from the job that they do, it will never pay them enough. They do this because they truly love their community and they want good out of their community. No, I don't believe any law enforcement officer ever puts on their badge to go and do bad. I just don't. I don't think people do that. Maybe there are some. I mean, I got to think that there's, with the law of large numbers, we're going to have some bad apples. We're going to have some narcissists. We're going to have some psychopaths, to be honest with you, that are part of our police departments. I mean, not that it's in that specific police department. I'm just saying in the law of large numbers, all the police collectively, we're going to have a few bags of nuts. It's expected. And hopefully they weed them out. But what these officers endure, especially in these homicide investigations, are horrific. A lot of these officers that are out there actually have children, typically the age that they're dealing with. Or, if it's an older person, they're identifying these people as like an aunt or an uncle or a grandparent. You know what I'm saying? So it really does affect them. And everybody that typically that is in law enforcement has a heart. That's why they're there. Some are tougher than others, but it's like a parent, right? Like parents, they want to be tough, but they don't want to be too tough, right? And sometimes there's some officers out there that might be a little too tough. But it's based upon their experience. I don't want to knock a whole lot of law enforcement in this case, because I think they did a stellar job, an amazing job. I can't give them kudos enough for the work they did. And I truly believe in Marion County, it didn't matter, and it won't matter what color these people are, the victims or the assailants. Had it been opposite, had it been the three guys and the two girls gunning them down, I still believe that Marion County would have found the girls and thrown them in jail immediately. So that's what I like about the law enforcement here. Is it like that everywhere in Florida? No, it's not. It's not like that everywhere in Florida, but we do have some really good law enforcement here in Florida. We also have some terrible ones, right? I'm not going to dispute that. I would never come here and pat myself on the back like that. First of all, I have no control over the state of Florida either. So, but I still believe that Florida has it right in a lot of respects when it comes to law enforcement. I really do. I'm not sure, like Texas is kind of our next long arm of Florida in some respects. And I don't know what, because I haven't spent a considerable amount of time in Texas. But I have to believe, that we're always talked about, and usually when Florida's talked about, it's in conjunction with crazy Texas, right? Crazy Florida and crazy Texas. Us gun toting, cussing, swearing, people that just don't care about anybody's feelings. Oh Lord. The reason why, this is my thing. Hold on. Well, let me go back up here and see this. Yeah. Did you say you'll do what you want? I sure did. I'll do whatever the hell I want to do. I absolutely did. I absolutely did. And I will always. So bye bye. People with stupid comments get stupid prizes. So goodbye. I'm enjoying myself today. I actually got some sleep last night. You guys know how exhausted I was yesterday. I don't know where that exhaustion came from. I was whooped. Like even going through this entire, yeah, thank you, Jennifer L. Supporting. Well, they can't not like me, right? They keep trying to say, oh, Bullhorn Betty, but they're always over here. Like they always seem to be attracted to me. I think I'm a magnet, and they say, ooh, there's a person. Let's go ahead and pick on them, right? Like I don't care. Like you guys can go do your stuff. I like seriously don't care. So but with this whole Marion County, we're not going to talk about them. And just for future reference, because I do believe they come here for attention. From here on out, we're going to ignore them and not even acknowledge them. The mods will just delete their message. If they come back with another message, they will be timed out. And if they come back with a third message, they will be blocked. If my mods feel that there's no point in timing them out, they know they're going to eventually block them in this chat. They can just go ahead and block them. They don't even have to go through the process of doing that. But we're not going to sit here and give them any more time, because that's what they want. They want to plug themselves. They want to disrupt the live. They want to do this, but we're not going to fall into that. They're cockroaches. We're exposing them. Most of them are criminals, active criminals, people that can't seem to keep themselves from going to jail. Kind of like what Bullhorn Betty was about a decade ago. That's what they are actively doing right now. So, but in all fairness, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of these junky criminals acting like they got something on Bullhorn Betty that literally does nothing wrong. Like I go out to cases, I cover cases, I do my job. I go to church when I can, usually online because I'm a hermit, right? And it's just I'm a good person, and I'm sick of justifying myself to these buffoons. I literally am tired of I don't have to justify myself to anybody, and I will never do it again. So we're going to ignore the hate. We're going to deal with it a completely different way, and it's going to be completely off of YouTube. I've had it, like literally had it. And so, they keep calling bluffs. It's not a bluff. What it was is giving you guys an opportunity to knock it off, because I'm not this person that you think I am. This is not what I want to be doing. You are forcing me to do it, and you're forcing me to do it to see if I will. But by that time, it's too late. Once that's done, I go forward. And a few people are going to be realizing that here soon. I've had it. Like I'm over it. I'm over the disruptions. I'm over the nonsense. I'm over this childish, juvenile. We're going to take you. You're not taking Bullhorn Betty down unless I take myself down. Like you don't have that power here on YouTube. You're not the kings and queens of YouTube. I mean, seriously, just not. You're not that powerful. You're failures. That's why most of you guys are here. You're on welfare and trying to get a few bucks off of YouTube. Let's be honest. Everything you tried to say I was and found out I was not, it's because you guys are. Well, who would have even thought that somebody on welfare would be on YouTube getting money and hiding it from welfare? Like, I would never even have thought about doing something like that. And yet they're the ones calling my disability office, and I'm not even on disability. I don't get welfare. I don't know how many times I can express that to you. I'm not like you. And I'm talking to the haters, not my audience. Just to let you know. But just stop the disruption. Mustang Sally, it's nice to see you. I haven't seen you here in a while. I've been on these YouTube streets years, and I'm so sick of and disheartened by the cancel culture and targeted harassment. And can you believe they actually are trying to convince their audience that I'm doing this to them? Like, they are seriously trying to convince their audience that I am literally mass striking them, and it's all lies. Every bit of the stuff that they're telling their audience is a bold-faced lie, and their audience is so stupid they can't realize it. They can't see the trees for the forest. Like, they're idiots over there. Like, I've never mass striked anybody. I've never campaigned to mass strike anybody. When I mass strike somebody, it's for just cause, despite what they say. You know, it's insane. It's insane. But we're just as a warning from this point forward, I'm not giving them the platform anymore. They don't deserve it. They didn't work for it. You know, they're trying to intimidate it for it. I'm not going anywhere. They're not going to cancel me out. I'm not doing anything wrong. And everything that I'm doing, whenever they try to strike me and I do get a ding, I'm fighting and having it reversed. So they're actually doing absolutely nothing. I have no community strikes. I've got no, whatever. There's two different kinds of strikes. I've got literally nothing. They've been working for 2 years and literally have done absolutely nothing to me. All they've done is wasted a whole bunch of their time, a whole bunch of their audience time, all for nothing. Literally nothing. They're idiots. I don't know how to express it. So if you guys watch them, you're watching a bunch of idiots and buffoons. I don't know what else to tell you. And they can keep coming over here and keep trying to hurt me financially by striking this and striking that. It's not working. It's not working. It's not. Just knock it off. You look stupid and desperate and, quite frankly, unstable, because normal people don't act like you guys. I'm just saying, normal people don't act like you guys. They have no damn they have no content. That is exactly right. I wish I could show this. Can I show this? Am I allowed to show? Will it show? All I can do is pin it to the top of my page. Sorry. I wish I could show these things. Now I kind of wish I was on StreamYard, even with the horrible the horrible reception and everything. I wish I was on StreamYard, but that's okay. That's okay. So just for my audience, and when you guys see that, if one of my mods aren't or miss something, you know, when this chat gets full, like right now, it's 200 people in here. It's manageable for my mods. There's sometimes we have cases that where we're hosting 1,200 people in here, and it gets very, very difficult for the mods to handle and maintain that level of participation and commenting. So it's not too bad whenever it's like 200, 400, they can handle that and they manage it. But if you do see somebody in here, the code word is Uncle Eddie. And if they haven't gotten them already, then just notify one of the mods that there is an Uncle Eddie or Cousin Eddie. I think it's Cousin Eddie. We don't do cousin or uncle. I can't remember. Uncle Eddie, Cousin Eddie. I think they'll get the gist of it. And then they'll be immediately blocked. There are just some things. My mods are seasoned because they've been with me. I mean, the Bullhorn Betty channel has been under attack for 2 years, right? So they've been with me for some time. They are seasoned mods. And if they weren't seasoned before they came to the Bullhorn Betty channel, I promise you within the first 3 months, they were seasoned as seasoned can get, right? So they know what rises to the level of being immediately blocked and what rises to the level of a spanking, put you in the corner and then time you out and then block you, right? And then kick you out of the house. So they know how I am, and I trust their ability to mod the chat. So if you get dinged from one of my mods, if there's a lot of people in here, and you didn't do anything wrong, don't start attacking them. It was probably a mistake, because what happens is the chat moves up right as they're trying to time somebody out or block somebody, and yours moves right in that position right when they push it. So it does happen. I know, because I've done it myself. But they will unblock you if they accidentally block you. So don't worry, it's not the end of the world, and accidents do happen. So don't get, upset. But for the most part, I trust every single bit of my mods. They are seasoned. They know what I like. Everybody here feels that they're handling, at least the people that come here regularly feel that they handle the chat very well and very professionally. So we're very thankful for that. Don't forget to thumb up this video today for my mods, in honor of my mods, the people that make sure that you have a lot of fun and be able to express yourself respectfully in this chat. We don't expect you to just go one way or another. I don't like people in my chat that parrot me. I like people that think for themselves, that have their own opinions. I just like, even if we disagree on those opinions, we do it respectfully. We did high school debate, right? We did college debate. Well, for most of us, we've done college debate. We debate. Never in those debates in school did we get heated and cuss people out. We had our positions, we stated our positions, and some people agreed with our positions and some people didn't agree with our positions. So if we can maintain that respect level and realize that just because we think it, a lot of this stuff is all, we have a base of facts, and then we start theorizing or speculating to try to figure out what those facts truly mean. So that speculation and opinion is really, there's no right answer to that. We could be wrong, we could be right. So there's no need to be angry or frustrated or mean or, just those types of things. Cranky pants. Mike Stevens already in the house. We need to take the Big Macs away from Mike Stevens. Mike's already acting cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. We love it. Oh, and Sheila's in the house. It's nice to see you guys all here. You block me daily, and I will probably continue to block you again if you're bringing all that BS up in here. You want to have fun? Come over here. I'm not telling even the haters from the hate channels. You want to come over here and have fun? Come over here and have fun. Just do it respectfully. That's all I'm saying. Just do it respectfully. There's a lot of great people in this chat. You could probably have a great time over here. We're talking about true crime cases. We're not killing people, okay? This is not the end of the world. This is not sink your battleship. I promise. This is not a game. Okay. We don't have cliques. We're not this people. We're not going to war. We don't have pitchforks and lanterns, and we're not coming for you, man. I don't know what to tell you. I know they're putting that shit in your head, but I promise you, we're not coming for you. We're not trying to take these channels down. As a matter of fact, they're using that so you guys get the pitchforks and start trying to take these channels down. They're very manipulative. So, if you want to come over here and have fun and hang out with people that actually have a brain and understand what they're talking about, come on over here. You might get enlightened. You might get some, good, get good information. We do a lot of record requests. We go directly to the mouths of the babes. We go directly to the front of these houses. We bring you to the front door of these cases. If you're interested in true crime, this is the true crime community. That is what I do. I travel this country. I'm not an armchair detective like many people like to allege. I actually get out there and do the work. I don't read other people's work. I don't, we use that as a like a basis, like especially today, I've been looking at a lot of news articles to find out the locations of where I need to go. Right. So where did these victims turn up, looking into who they are so I can go and do some in-depth background, see if anybody's willing to talk to me, things like that. Reaching out to law enforcement and letting them know I'm going to be in town. Just doing some stuff like that. Yes, I pull that stuff from news, but when I come out and I talk, like even yesterday about Trenton Lair Camp, that's from my work. That's not based upon somebody else's work. That's based upon my own fact finding, my own work, my own coming here and doing the work and looking at what's being said, not reading what somebody else's work is and believing their work and just running with it. I am fact finding this information and confirming whether it's true or correct. So that's the difference over here. I could sit at home all day long, probably make a hell of a lot more money because I wouldn't have traveling expenses, right? I could probably be sitting at home like every other person and sitting from my computer and just reading and researching all everybody else's work, or I can come out and do my own work and make sure that I believe the work that's being done, because there's been so many times that I've trusted the news organization to tell me the truth, and then when I just happen to go out like with Gabby Petito and they're trying to convince the world that there's water up to the chest and that's why they couldn't find Brian Laundrie, we call BS. That was the most ludicrous thing I had seen, because you guys all know JLR and I were in that bear since September 18th. Since September 18th, literally 3 days after that boy disappeared and he drove his car out to Myakkahatchee Creek Park, we were chopping through that entire Myakkahatchee Creek Park everywhere. And you know what? There wasn't one place that I had to wade up to my chest to look. And we were back there. We were about 500 yards away from where Brian Laundrie's body was. We couldn't smell it. We didn't see the birds. We didn't hear the insects. We didn't hear anything. We didn't have anything to get us there. But we came very close, and I promise you, we weren't swimming in chest deep water. That was a lie that they perpetrated. That was from the sheriff, the Lee County sheriff. He came out there and was saying, some of these parts are chest high water. Yeah, there's canals on both sides of those roads, and yeah, in the canals and swamps. Yeah, I would think that would be chest high water. But Brian Laundrie wasn't found in the canal or the swamp. He was found on a path. And the deepest part of those paths were maybe up to my at most up to my calf, my lower calf. Most of those places just wetted my shoe, right? Like halfway wetted my shoe. That was it. There was no excuse for them not to have found him. None. Not for that many weeks. And then they move their search from, like, his car was at Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park. So that they know for a fact he is right there. He is right there. There's no way that car could be there without him putting it there. There's proof that he put that car right there. He parked that car at Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park. Normal search would have that as a starting point and branch out from that. You know what they did? They started out the starting point. They branched out a little bit, and they're like, somebody's found a cabin because there was another a person fleeing justice living off the land and had been living off the land for some time. And because they found clothes, instead of keeping a portion of their search team at the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park and expand that way, they pulled everybody up and moved them 45 minutes into Venice. They stopped the search of the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park where they knew he was because of this. And then even when they found the person that was on the run and he was not Brian Laundrie, they didn't restart their search back at Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park. They kept working in from the swamp. It was the stupidest logistical nightmare that I have ever seen in an investigation. It was stupid. And they made crucial errors that cost that left Brian out there rotting for weeks because of that one crucial area. When they found the assailant and knew it wasn't Brian Laundrie, they should have went back to Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park and started working on their search again, not continuing down this search 45 minutes away. And that is the problem that I had. And then they weren't finding him because they moved the search so far away that I truly believe Brian Laundrie's dad and mom knew exactly where he was. I think when they went and picked up that car, they found him. And I think that's why they shuttled themselves inside that house. They were grieving for that entire month. because they knew their son was dead. They were grieving. And I truly believe that's when they realized, they figured law enforcement will eventually find him. They didn't want to deal with it. And I truly believe that's when they decided to help them. They're like, okay, it's been 5 weeks. We know he's dead. They're not going to find him at this rate. So they went out there and they immediately found him within 15 minutes of arriving at the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park. Mind you, Chris took a direct right-hand turn through shrubberies that had no path whatsoever and walked directly to his dry bag and to his body. They didn't even try to act like they didn't know. They poked around here and poked around there, but when they actually turned in, it just so happens to be the exact right spot. So it causes me heartburn. So Wendy V, you were just gifted a membership from Julie. Julie, thank you so much for the membership. And Wendy, I know, will enjoy it. I know she will enjoy it. We also have SMAC, member for 3 months. Well, thank you, SMAC. That is so sweet. Love watching all you do, BHB. Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's little messages like that that really, that melt my heart. At least people they're paying attention and they like the content that we are creating. Um, you know, Julie did gift. Oh, you gifted another membership. Princess Megan Elsa, you are officially a coffee clubber. Congratulations. Congratulations. So thank you. Thank you so much, Julie. And we also have Julie laughing. Oh, I love that. I love that. Did I miss anybody else? I'm so sorry if I missed you. I've just been yap, 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 yap. Do we have somebody in here called Same Shit? Now we do. And we do. We have somebody called Same Shit. We need somebody's name to be Different Day. So when they comment, it needs to be Same Shit, Different Day. Maybe I should change my name to Different Day. And every time Same Shit talks, I'll just say, hey, hey, me. Oh Lord. Sorry, we have too much fun over here. All right, so getting on to this case. You guys saw the thumbnail. I've got all the people up there. Can you believe, even after the plea from the Marion County sheriff saying, why are these news organizations not showing the face of these assailants, these underage assailants that are doing atrocious crime? And he literally shamed them from the lectern when he was giving his, I was Same Shit, Different Day. Everyone always said same shit. So I shortened it. There you go. That's cute. Same track of mind. There you go. There you go. I love it. I love it. That's great. That's great. And even though the sheriff had said, talked to them and said, we heard him on our live saying, oh my God, why are they not showing me? These teenagers are doing despicable things, because he wanted to make sure that 12-year-old's face was out. Like, he murdered an innocent person senselessly. And I'm starting to learn more. And this is what I remember, how we were talking about this. And I said, I can tell that this one here knows these boys. It's just a thing. I have street knowledge too, because of my past and my experience and things that I've lived through. I can kind of check people out and kind of get that vibe off of them. And the way that this last report came, and you guys won't be able to hear it or see it. I can't play it for you because I'm on YouTube Live. Oh, I might be able to pull it up on my phone. But the way the video was done, it almost implied Camille may have actually been part of the three, as an extension of the three, almost the way that they alleged this. Because when the 12-year-old was giving his statement, which they had portions of that statement in this particular article, he basically said that he was forced to kill her because the other two said that she was going to snitch on him. So he had, and if he didn't kill her, that they were going to kill his family. That's what the 12-year-old stated. Now, I don't know if I believe that or not. I think he was a willing participant. But there was a portion of that they said after they killed and I may have gotten this wrong, so I want to be very cautious about this. But it almost implied that when they killed Layla and threw her out of the car, Camille was still sitting on the back of the car of her own free volition, which makes me very concerned that one of the victims could have actually been not only a victim, but part of this scheme for robbery and may have actually helped set it up. But I don't want to say that because it's hard because she's a victim, she's dead, and I don't want to sully her name, but it's not me. It was this article. And let me see if I can pull it up. I think it might be right here. I think this might be it. Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone and then we can watch it. What is this? Fox 35. I think this is the one. I watched several of these over the last several days, and I get them, and I hate it, but I get it confused as to which video has the information that was really important. So if it's not this one, timeline. Let me put timeline. I think this, yeah, it's the timeline one. I remember it. Okay, Fox 35. I think this is it. I think this is it. Hold on, guys. Let me pause this. All right. Where's the timeline? I just had it up. I guess I'm going to have to. Okay, and it's 1, 2, 5, 4, 7. Okay, I'm on the right one. Cancel. Okay, I'm on the right. Looks like I'm on the right one. It's not pulling up. It's really not. It's not pulling up. I don't know why. Give me just a second. I'm gonna have to do it a different way. I'll just have to type it in the long form. But I want you guys to hear this, and I want you guys to let me know if you think that that's what it's implying, because there was something that they added to that, and I can't understand why. And the only thing I can think of as to why is because it might be alleged that she may have, and I want to find out whether she was part of the group or not, and only killed because they were concerned that she was going to rat on them. Okay, well, let's go. Okay, it looks like it's this one. So let's go ahead and pull this up. Can you guys hear that? It's going to be about another 18 seconds. It's going to be about another 18 seconds while it goes through this commercial. There we go. Sorry, I was trying to make sure that we got it. All right, we're almost ready. I've got 7 more seconds, and I want you guys to watch this and listen to it. Listen to it carefully. Oh, shoot. Did I just hit it?
New details tonight in the murder of 3 teens in Marion County. 3 teenagers are now behind bars. The last suspect to be arrested is on the left here.
Hopefully you guys can hear it.
Is Tahj Brewton. He was arrested Saturday in Lake County. Fox 35's Dave Puglisi is digging through the arrest reports and has the latest.
Marion County deputies say that all of these murders happened on the night of March 30th. Witnesses and suspect interviews show that all 3 suspects were hanging out with the 3 victims, 16-year-old Layla Silvernail, another 16-year-old girl, and 17-year-old male that night.
And at some point, these 3 individuals turned on our 3 victims and murdered them. 2 of them right there.
A friend of Layla's told investigators that she was with her and the other two victims around 6 o'clock that night. The four of them went to hang out with two of the suspects, Rob Robertson and a 12-year-old. She and the victims left around 6:30 so they can drop her off at home. The victims then drove back out to pick up Robertson and the 12-year-old. Around 7:10 that night, deputies say that group was involved in an armed robbery that they set up. Later on that night, investigators say the 12-year-old told them that they went to go pick up Tahj Brewton, who was wearing a ski mask. Robinson told investigators that the group planned to rob someone for marijuana and attempt some car break-ins. Instead, around 10:48 that night, a 12-year-old recalls Brewton pulling out a gun and shooting Silvernail and the male victim. 12-year-old claims he was forced to shoot the third victim, who was hanging out in the trunk by her own free will, or his family would be killed. Robertson then told investigators he also shot the third victim because, quote, she was going to snitch on us all.
They took
So that is the the part that's making me feel like Camille Quarles was part of this, because they're talking about shooting two victims and her being on the trunk of her own free volition. They just killed two people. They killed Layla and the male victim. They keep calling him a male victim. I don't know why they're not releasing his identity. Maybe the family has requested them not to. Mandis, you just received a gifted membership from SMAC. Thank you, SMAC, and God bless you for gifting a membership to one of our audience members. So do you see where I'm going with this? It seems like Camille, based upon that statement, and maybe it was poorly worded, potentially. I'm not sure if it was poorly worded, and that wasn't their intent, and she had no, she wasn't with them to set this up or anything. But based upon that article, that news clip, to me, it sounds like that this Camille may have been part of this robbery, and the only reason why she was killed was because they were concerned about her snitching on them. So that has me really confused, and the fact that she was in the car, the other people, the girl and the boy were dumped out of the car, so she knew that they were killed, and she still left with them until they ultimately killed her and put her in the trunk of the car and dumped the car in the lake. That's concerning for me. And this should be a lesson to all the young ladies out there. You don't trust anybody, and you damn sure don't stand up next to somebody that just killed somebody. You will be a target. If they can take a life, they have no problem taking your life. They will take your life lickety split. You trust no one. And if somebody does something wrong, you get the hell out of Dodge. You don't hang out with them and pray that they save you because you're friends with them. I mean, I don't know. This is not sitting well with me with the Camille Quarles thing. It just is not. It's starting to feel, oh, thank you, Julie, for another membership. Turn back time. You were gifted a membership from Julie. So hopefully, if you're in the house, please don't forget to tell her thank you. But it also concerns me because when I did look at Camille Quarles, and granted, I am judging a book by its cover, and I can, that's what I do. I look at people and try to decide things about them, right? It's my opinion and my opinion alone. But I felt bad when I brought her picture up that I think it was just a few days ago. And I said, this right here, this is the one that I believe was connected to, like I say, we have a good batting average here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. We really pick up on a lot of stuff that other people may or may not pick up on. But I pegged that girl. And I said, this one seems like she would be the connection between them, because of the way her hair was styled, the way she put her makeup on, the way she presented herself in that photo really did tell a lot, and the photo of Layla Silvernail, said a lot about her as well. So you can get a lot and sense a lot from these things. And I kind of knew because I went to school too. But I kind of knew who the who's are, and it just seemed like there was something there with her. I think it was because they seemed like an odd friendship. The Camille kind of looked, like Layla seemed, her between like her hair, the way she smiled, everything seems like she came from a good home with some sort of fine money. Maybe not a lot of money, but definitely middle class or upper middle class, not like elite or anything like that. I don't know. She might be elite. I don't know, but she seems to carry herself better in photos and appear in appearance. The other one looks like she's more of the lower middle class and stuff like that. The way she so it was just an odd friendship. Like the way that they dressed didn't coincide with each other. Because we know in high school there's clickiness, right? And so usually you have all the people that are kind of the same, right? You have the jocks. The jocks kind of hang out. You've got the alternative group. They all kind of dress the same and hang out. You've got the I don't even know what they call. I mean, I wasn't a prep, but they do have preppies. They have the preps that dress nice and look a certain way, but there's clickiness. And if you notice anything about high school, when you're in that clique, they kind of all have the same type of appearance. They don't appear the same. That's not what I'm saying, but they all seem to have the type of appearance. And there was a big contrast in the appearance from Layla and Camille that just didn't seem like they were natural friends. And I always thought maybe this was a friendship, those childhood friendships where we have a childhood, like my sister and her best friend. They look very different. One works at a news organization, and her friend is a waitress at a restaurant, and sometimes has blue hair. So there's a deep contrast between my sister and her best friend, but it's because they had a childhood friend and they grew up together. They just had different groups that they hung out with, but they were still best friends. So it's one of those things. So I just naturally thought, because of the differences in style that both of them had, that maybe they were childhood friends of sorts. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what I had assumed. But now that I'm seeing that she was on the back of that car of her own free volition, but that again is in accordance with one of the suspects. Is in accordance with the 12-year-old suspect, by the way. So is that true? Is it not true? I don't want to spread misinformation, but as you heard, that did come from Fox 35. And, I would think that they had vetted that information. But even if they didn't vet the information, that is what was being said by the 12-year-old. So that's still a factual statement that the 12-year-old said. Now, the statement itself may not be factual, but it's definitely a factual statement that came from the 12-year-old. And again, like I said, we do have all of these children. Every single one of these are all under the age of 18. It appears that the oldest one at this moment now pending the male subject, we don't know who the male subject is. I believe we have his age, but we don't know who he is. So I'm interested in finding out who the male subject is. Toward coffee. Thanks, S. Mac. Thank you guys. God bless you. You guys are so sweet. You guys are. So Tahj Brewton was the one that was on the run. He was the one with kind of the pokey hair. The 17-year-old, the oldest one, and the youngest one were arrested almost immediately. They got them arrested, tracked them down, and had them arrested almost immediately. But Tahj Brewton was on the run, and he was actually apprehended in Lake County. So I'm interested in finding out where in Lake County he was apprehended, because I drive right through Lake County to get home. So I'm actually considering, this is what I'm actually considering. I'm going to go be heading down to Marion here when I power this live down. And I'm going to go out there. I'm going to be going to these areas where these beautiful souls lost their life. Even if Camille was part of it, at the end of the day, she's still a victim, and she still lost her life. And it's still a shame. And she was still young. My heart does go out to these children's family, all of them, even the assailants' families. My heart does go out to them, because, this is like, we're dealing with Trenton's case right now, and these kids doing terrible things. I'm sure the parents are good parents. I'm upset primarily with the Struther family, because they should have known what was going on in their house. And I'm sorry. there's no excuse for the conduct that's been going on in their house. There's just no excuse. So I'm very upset with them. But I'm not saying that they're not good people. I'm not saying that they're not good people. But even the assailants' families, I mean, these are their kids, and their kids are facing some really significant charges. And even if they knew their children were trouble, I don't think they thought that their children would get in this much trouble. And I think that's kind of the same way with the whole, oh, thank you, Lady 7-Up. God bless you. God bless you. I don't think that they, like in Trenton's case, I don't believe that the parents ever thought it, they knew that they had probably had some rowdy kids, probably didn't like it, but, in the back of their mind, they're saying boys will be boys. And granted, their boys will be boys. Listen, I would rather us promote, it sounds a little crazy, and I know people aren't going to agree, but there's got to be an outlet for these kids. There's a lot of emotions that children go through, as they're growing up. They're going through hormones. They're going through a lot of stuff. They have a lot of built up animosity that they don't know why they have. I really do believe it's a natural process, that we all go through as our bodies are developing and our brains are developing, and we're going out into the real world. We're having some, we're allowed to have we're not on that short leash that our parents keep us on when we're younger. We have, more flexibility to go places and move around and, have more privileges that our parents give us. And sometimes the kids take that a little too far. And I really think it's because they have this, built up, animosity, because they don't understand, and they don't understand why they can't do this. And they don't understand why their parents aren't allowing them to do this or do that. And all they want to do is hang out with their friends. They don't realize that money doesn't grow on trees, that parents have to go out and work for that. We can't just be tossing money to every little whim our children have. So I think there's no real outlet for our kids. We have sports and things, which is really good for the parents that understand the benefits of sports and getting their kids involved in extracurricular activities is really good, because that is an amazing and a positive outlet for kids to get that energy out. But the ones that aren't involved in all that, or can't get involved, or are not interested in it, maybe the parents want them to be interested in it, they're just not, and they're not doing it. They still have all that stuff, and there's no way to outlet that. And it's just like a dog being pinned up in a cage. When you have a puppy, a puppy is a very well mannered puppy. When you have that dog walk, when you wear that dog out, that dog is believe it or not, it's less chewing, less destruction in the house, less peeing in the house. It really does. I don't mean to compare kids to dogs, but I'm trying to make a point here. The energy of a puppy, because we all have had puppies or a tiny animal at some point in our life. For those that haven't, it's a beautiful thing. It's a frustrating thing. It's one of the things that you want to pull your hair out. But if you can take care of a dog and not kill a dog, you're probably ready for a kid, right? No, I'm just joking. I'm joking, guys. I'm joking. Okay. Nobody's going to be having kids around here. Okay. But I've had puppies. I've raised a lot of puppies. I've trained a lot of puppies. So I know the benefits of running them out in how much well-mannered and behaved that puppy is in training time and stuff like that. So what I'm trying to say is that these kids, especially these teenagers that are sitting at home on these games and hanging out with their friends and really doing nothing, absolutely, to exert energy, they're going to get themselves in trouble. It's just natural, because they're kids. Idle hands, busy hands are happy hands. So we got to keep our kids busy. We got to keep them exerted. We got to keep them, and you'll find out the behavior in them is going to be, you're going to have a much milder kid. It's going to be an easy working, it's easy parent. It's easier parenting than having a kid sitting home alone or caged in their room for hours on end. When you have your children and you see them glued to that TV, you cut the cord of the TV and tell them to get the hell out of the house. Do what our parents used to do for us. There was a reason why our parents wouldn't let us sit in a room all day in our home. We didn't have the luxury of video games when we were younger. I think I was probably about 7 or 8 when Tetris came out. Remember Nintendo, the first Nintendo with those big cards that you had to stick in them. We could only play on that just a little bit. When it came Saturday, like my mom didn't want to see us. Like, get the hell out of the house. Go find something to do. Go play. That was what we were told. Get out of the house. She wanted to clean it. She didn't want little kids running all over it. She wanted us outside running, exerting ourselves in the sun, come back, pooped out, eat dinner, and go to bed. That's what my mom wanted. And you know what? Many times she got it. But now with this new age of technology where everybody's staying in the house, you're not exerting your body. You're not working that energy down. So I really do think that for these kids, especially in these communities, if you're starting to see behavioral changes, get your child involved into something. Even if they love animals, make them volunteer at the local animal shelter, caring for the dogs, washing the dogs, getting something that motivates them that they can, love. I really think that there's a lot of things that parents can do outside of the box. A lot of parents that are in my chat don't have the money to send their children to camp. They don't have the money to send them to camp. But it doesn't mean they can't experience something like that. Like on summer, make them volunteer to the animal shelter or make them volunteer at the soup kitchen. You want to talk about some way to keep your kids to abstain from drugs and alcohol? Let them work at the soup kitchen for a summer. They will be terrified to touch drugs or alcohol. They'll see the people coming in and out of there. They'll be able to have compassion. They'll be able to learn how to be humble. It's great for children. If you can't afford to send them to camp or something like that, still give them the summer life lessons, right? Make them go and volunteer somewhere. Don't let them sit at home. I'm telling you, you'll be a much happier parent. Much happier parent. So I've identified all the areas that these victims were at, and we're going to go by and take a look at these areas. I'm also still trying to learn what school they went to, and I know what school Layla went to, but I want to make sure that Camille and the other boy, the other male victim, I just want to find out if they're all in the same school. Is that where they know each other? How do they know these 3 boys? If you recall in that article we just heard, they said that they were hanging out with Robert Robinson and Christopher Atkins, the 12-year-old, the 17-year-old and the 12-year-old, the first 2 people that were in custody. And then they went and picked up Tahj Brewton. But the article itself was a little confusing because they said that the car, the Chevrolet Cruze, is Layla Silvernail, that they were leaving to take somebody home and then committed an armed robbery. So how in the world is there still 6 people in this car, or is there a 7th person that was dropped off at home? I'm very confused about this Fox 35 news article. Taking care of a puppy is similar to a baby. Absolutely, Mab. Absolutely. Good morning to you, love. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. Pretty soon, you guys should be here. I mean, we're already halfway through April. We're already halfway through April. So I was homeschool mom. Yeah, and that's I love I like here in Florida. I hope they do it across the United States, which they probably won't because there's just some states that just whatever. But in our state and in our school boards, are kicking and screaming. But again, it's not something that the state of Florida hasn't warned over and over again to get the act right here in our school systems. But they're not listening and they're not following the rules. And even though we have blocked some of the teachings that they can bring into our school because they're not teachings at all, they're hate lessons. And so our state said, you know what? We're not going to keep arguing with the school boards. We're not going to keep fighting with you school boards. If you want to teach this stuff, that's well, they can't teach it, but they're still teaching it by changing the words and all this other stuff. So what did the state of Florida do? We said, you know what? If you're going to teach this garbage, the parents are tired of it. They don't want this crap taught to their kids. The parents have the right. We're like the parents are the bosses. I am the boss of my school board as well because every time I pay my property taxes, I pay school board taxes, and I've never had a child in the school system while I pay taxes, and I've literally paid taxes here or in Manatee County for school board taxes since I owned my first home at 24 years old. I've been paying school board taxes for 20 stinking years. Believe me, if I have something to say, I'm going to go into that school board and say it because I am a taxpayer of the school systems of Manatee County. But it even goes further than that. We actually said, okay, we're going to let parents decide where their kids go to school. We're going to let the parents decide whether they want to homeschool this child, whether they want to send this child to private school, whether they want to send this child to an academy, whatever they want to do, wherever they want to um, have their child learn, they can. And guess what? We're going to give them their taxes for their pupil. Their pupil's school taxes go with that pupil. So it's no longer guaranteed for that school board district that wants to peddle the crap that these parents don't want their children being taught. Now the parents are in control of the education of their child. And not only that, they get that amount that the state and the federal government provides for that child, and that child money goes with that child anywhere that they go in Florida. If they want to go 20 miles away and go to school and 20 miles away because it's a better school or it has some kind of cool program that this child wants, they can do that. And they have the money that would have gone to their local school board is going with them to the school of their choosing. And that's what we did. And we're pulling that money from our local school boards that don't want to do the right thing for our children. And our parents are now in control of their child's education. And I hope that more states do that around this country, because I think it's up to the parents. Now, if the parents want their child to learn that's their choice. They're more than welcome to send their child to that school that teaches those programs that I think is hate, that is just teaching hate. But if parents want their children to learn that, they also have the ability to stay in that school or move to a school that does teach that, right, in some form or another. So it really is working for both ways. If you want your children taught this, you can keep them in this school. But if you don't like this education and you want them to be more educated in math, science, biology, English, the law, maybe finances, maybe how to balance a checkbook, getting your child prepared for life, and you've got an academy over here that does just that, you might want to consider pulling your kid out of private or public school and putting him into the academy school. And your tax dollars will go right over there. You're not going to have to pay more money. You'll get a credit for that tax dollar. The tax dollar moves from that school and that school board district over to the school of your choosing. I think it's amazing. I love it. I hands down to whoever thought of that as a remedy to some of these schools. So if any of you guys are in Florida and you didn't know that to be true, look it up. You most definitely can and get plugged into that, because you might be able to get your child a better education or change their schools, because you have now the right to choose what kind of education your child gets. And does it bode with your moral compass? What do we have here? I had more kids at my house, so if I had kids of my own, I would not be able to help with other kids. There you go, Lady 7-Up. I didn't have my own kids, but I had a lot of kids at my house too, especially when my grandchildren were in Florida and my stepdaughter was in Florida. Our door was it just spun, right? Everybody coming in and out. We had a lot of family. We did a lot of family stuff. We did a lot of family events at that house. My house is small, so we would set up like tents in the front yard, and I'd have it lined with tables and chairs, and we'd have a shindig. Like we'd have 40 people over at the house. Not so much anymore since my divorce. His family kind of went with him. And so I don't have those parties anymore. I still have all the dishes and stuff that I need to put away, and I plan on having parties one day again, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll have a Bullhorn Betty. I don't know. I don't know what we'll do. I don't know what we'll do, but we'll do something. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll have some. I mean, everybody knows where I live anyways. Maybe pop up some tents and pull out the barbecue grill and maybe put some ribs and steak. And anybody that's in Florida that wants to come say hi to Bullhorn Betty, just come over and make yourself a plate, sit down and relax. That's the way we do it, right? That's the way we do it. Is that? Hold on. Country kids are the coolest. Hold your horses. I know. I love, you know what? I gotta say, as I get older, I shouldn't say as I got older, because I'm still getting older, right? It's not past tense, it's present tense. So as I get older, I'm starting to see the sexy of the country boys. I gotta be honest with you. It's never really much of a, believe it or not, even though my roots are Mayaca City and that's rural and everything else, I was raised in town. I was raised in Bradenton. So I wasn't really digging the whole, cowboy thing when I was growing up. I was kind of a wannabe thug myself, right? So I was always in trouble. And but now that I'm getting older, I'm starting to see the sexy in some of these country boys, right? I'm like, oh damn, that looks good. The cowboy boots and a cowboy hat. Look at them tight britches. Woo! Oh, I need to stop. I need to stop. But there's just some sexy boys out there. I got to be honest with you. I never jerked my head when I was married. I got to be honest. I never jerked my head when I was married. I don't really look, I'm so busy now. I don't have a chance to look. But every now and again, I have to be honest. There's somebody that walks by that, damn, right? You ladies know I'm not lying. You do the same thing. Don't lie. Don't lie. We know it. You can lie to everybody, but you can't lie to Bullhorn Betty. So I don't know if I'm going to get a country boy. I really don't know, but they're now on the table. I have to be honest with you. Okay, country boys are now officially on the table. I might one day, right? I can't. I'm a female, right? Females I hate tight stuff. I don't like wearing tight stuff. I occasionally have to wear it because I'm a female and that's what females do, right? But I'm not really a tight jean, one that like leather that just wants to cling to your skin. I'm not one of those. I don't know how these boys get in some of the Wrangler jeans. I just don't know. Do they suck it in? Do they lay on the bed like we have to do and right? Do they do that? I don't know how they get those darn jeans on so tight. And how the heck do they get it around the boot? Like they got this stuff stuck to their legs, but they have enough boot to make sure their boot's up under their jean. I don't get it. I'm going to have to go to cowboy school. I'm going to have to go to cowboy school and figure out how they do this thing. I got to be honest with you. But I'm serious. Cowboys, we're looking at you now. We're looking at you now. Who knows? I'm going to Marion County. I might find me a cowboy. Hey, you know what? I might even find me a sheriff to kiss on the cheek, right? And tell him thank you for doing a great job, right? I am going to stop by the sheriff's office because, I really like. I don't know if they'll accept my offer. But I would really like to do something for the sheriff's department in Marion County for a job well done. So I'm going to go down there and I'm going to see if either today or tomorrow we can order them, their whole entire department, the Bullhorn Betty channel can order their whole entire department pizza, pizza and drinks, just to say thank you, say thank you. So I'm going to see if they'll accept my offer of pizza for their department. And hopefully they accept it. But if they don't, that's okay. I'll see if we can donate some money to a charity that they recommend that helps their community. But I really love, law enforcement that does the right thing because it's the right thing to do. I love law enforcement that really stands up to the plate, even when it's not the popular thing to do, and tell people what the true problem is. I love people that have backbones and aren't pandering to this emotional culture. I don't have time. I personally can't do it. I can't deal with everybody else's emotions. They're not mine. They're not mine. They're not mine to harbor. They're not mine to deal with. That's on that, even some of the people in here. I love you guys. I love you guys. And I hate when you guys have a bad day, and we pray for you. But your bad day is not my bad day. You see what I'm saying? It's your bad day. And it's not to be rude. Just like whenever I have a bad day, I try not to make you have a bad day because I'm having a bad day. So I really do hope that, whatever. But I just think that we can do something special for them. But again, if for any reason they don't want to accept pizza from Bullhorn Betty and Channel, then we'll talk to them about maybe writing a check that we would have spent on pizza to a charity of their liking. I would prefer, and I would do both. If they'll take the pizza, I'll even donate some money to a charity of their liking. I just like promoting people that stand up and speak up. And I feel like this sheriff did. I feel like his department did. And I just don't want to, point out the sheriff, because like he said, he didn't do crap. It was his men and women under him that did the heavy lifting, that did the major work, that were out there getting justice for these 3 victims that were just thrown to the shot and left dead and left out like garbage, just thrown on the side of the road, right? And so I definitely want to just do something nice. We like doing something nice, and we think that people should be rewarded for a job well done. And this is no different. I would love to do the same thing for Mascow, Idaho. I'd love to, because I think that they did a job well done. I know there's a lot of things going on in their docket. We have that whole issue with the Giglio and whatever. I got to look it back up. I can't remember. I don't understand why I'm only thinking of Giglio. But there was another, for the life of me, let me go to Idaho. There it is. Let me go in here. Is this it? The internet here just so sucks. Like really, really sucks. Found it. I'll tell you what it is. I don't know why I can't keep right. I don't know why I forget it. It's just stuff that sticks with me. Brady. Geez, Brady and Giglio. I don't know why I can't think of Brady. So the Brady and Giglio thing, even though that's come up, I still think that they did their job beyond expectation in a very crazy environment, in a very worrisome environment where you had I would say maximum amount of pressure was put on law enforcement in Mascow, Idaho to solve this case. And so that it's something I'd love to do for them. Any law enforcement body that does the right thing because it's the right thing to do, we want to promote. Now, it's going to be a long time before we start getting pizza here in Georgia. I can tell you that. The time that I'll start bringing pizza to Georgia is when the people here in Georgia say they've had enough of this lawlessness. When you guys say you had enough of this law, it shouldn't be a right or left issue. It shouldn't be a right or left issue. Let's be honest. What do we all want in this world? We want good jobs. We want safe homes. We want safe communities. We want good education for our children. We want the American dream. That's what we all aspire to have. All of us. All of us. This is not a right or left issue. We agree on all of that. It's getting the right politicians. It's taking the blindfolds off and looking at the politicians and hearing what they have to say and doing the due diligence and putting the right politician in office. It's not a right or left thing. You just need to open your eyes and ears. And when Georgia starts doing that, they're going to have a lot of changes, because I'm telling you, they are sitting ducks in this town. This is 2 major cases in the state of Florida where they've allowed the assailants to sit in their own home, in the comfort of their own home. Their own home. While a baby is dead in a landfill and a boy is recovering from almost being killed by his friends after being kidnapped. I'm going to say it's kidnapping because he wasn't free to leave. He was kidnapped. He was held hostage. And he was brutalized. I mean, let's talk about Trenton's case. He was kidnapped held hostage and brutalized by kids. The minute they put the tape on his hands and taped him to that chair, he was no longer free to leave. He could no longer freely go about his business. They kidnapped him and held him hostage. That's what they did. And they force-fed him vodka, humiliated him, urinated on him, spray painted on him, and that still wasn't enough. They still had to make sure before they did. They must have thought he was joking or something. It wasn't until he was lifeless that they realized they went too far. When he was lifeless, that's when they said, uh-oh, maybe we should get him to a hospital. It was disgusting. And for nobody to be in jail all these weeks later is horrendous. So no pizza's coming to Georgia. I can tell you that, not for the foreseeable future. And listen, at this point, I'm not blaming law enforcement. I'm blaming the taxpayers here, the voters here, for this lawlessness, because they're voting this garbage into their offices. Don't be complaining about corruption in your town that you refuse to vote out. This is what you get when you want to give all the rights to the criminals and none to the victims. This is what you get. Sounds great in theory, but whenever you try to put it in practical use, it's a crappy idea. It's a stupid idea. Just saying. So no pizza's coming to Georgia, but we're definitely going to try to fatten up some of those wonderful agents over in Marion County, and we're going to thank them. I want to go in there and thank them for their service. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe buy them a cake. Maybe get them a card. I'm not sure, but we're doing something. Definitely pizza. I'm going to definitely offer pizza, and I'll work from there. If it's a small department, heck, I'll even step it up. If it's a small department and they don't really have a whole lot of people there, I mean, we can get something even nicer than pizza. But it depends on how many people are there. Usually pizza's good because it can feed a lot of people. And it's not really, we could spend like 120 people and feed a whole department. I mean, it's awesome, right? But if they have a small department and they want something better, heck, I'll order lasagna from frickin' Carrabba's, right? Depending on the cost. So but I do want to do something nice for them. I think they deserve it. I think it'll be nice coming from a community member, just really thanking them for all the work that they've done. And that's really what I'd like to do. And I'd like to inspire more law enforcement departments to be like, these sheriffs that we have. Grady Judd. God, we have some great stinking sheriffs in Manatee County, or not Manatee County, in the state of Florida. So, we got the bosses of sheriffs. So all these people from Georgia, we're just your next door neighbors. I mean, if you need some help on how to police your community, I'm sure that any of our law enforcement sheriffs in Florida will be happy to give you some tips, because to me, I think they got it right. And guess what? I hate to tell you this, our criminals get off the streets. They don't get to sleep in their beds for weeks on end after they throw a kid in a garbage can. They just don't. Not in the state of Florida. Not in the state of Florida. We don't do that. We put people behind bars. So hopefully, Georgia will get with the program and realize that they are creating their own lawlessness in their communities for lack of policing. So as you guys know, as you guys are seeing, I'm breaking the computer down. We're getting ready to get out of here. So I'm going to be starting to make my way to Marion County. I will see you guys in a few. We'll be live shortly. For Letitia Stout, you guys might want, we've been having so many issues, but this is what I'm going to do. Since it's Wednesday and I've got all this stuff for the victims that I'm going to be going out here, I'm going to go ahead and start my day early today. I'm going to try to be home tonight. I am going to try to make it back to my house tonight so I can get some of the work done I need to get done on the other computer, and I can be out Thursday night. So I'll be home tonight. I'm going to be home for live tomorrow, And then later tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to be heading to Savannah, Georgia. That's what I plan on doing, unless there's something breaking in Marion County, which they've already got the third suspect. They found him over in Lake County. And I can't remember how many counties over that is, but he wasn't too awfully far from where he was. He was still in the state of Florida, so that was good. And they were able to apprehend, and that was the Tahj Brewton. So, everything is really buttoned up. We're just going to be monitoring the case, but I definitely want to go out and kind of preview where all this transpired, where the murders happened, and bring that to you guys. So we will be live later today on that. Find Letitia Stock. I'm going to be listening to Letitia Stock's WebEx on my phone on the way there, but it's just too hard because the only way I can play that is on this computer. And as you guys saw when we were going to Washington, D.C. and it was dropping, it's too hard to keep this going, especially when it drops. And it's hard. It's hard on me. So I'm just not going to do it today. So you guys can go to, I think there's several people. I think Camille is also playing it. Maybe go over to his channel to watch it today. We'll be watching it again tomorrow from the house. And I'll probably set it up on a different computer, possibly, because I'm going to be wanting to leave to go to Georgia. I may just get up early in the morning on Friday and head there because it's only 11 hours, 5 hours, 5.5 hours there. So if I left at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, which is the time I get up anyways, I can be there, by 8:39. But that'll be cutting it close. So I'll probably be rolling into town on the day before. So we'll see. We'll see how it all works out. At the end of the day, guys, I'll see you guys soon. We'll see you in just a couple hours out in the field covering the case of the Marion 3. I don't know what else to call them. We don't have all 3 victims' names. We only have Layla, Camille, and we have the 3 suspects that are all in custody at this moment. So great job to the law enforcement out there. Thank you all for coming in and spending some time with me, learning a little bit about this case. And hopefully, as this story starts developing and as this case starts developing, we'll learn more details about what truly transpired with these young people. It sounds horrific, and no child should be killing another child over something like marijuana. Remember that one drug that is harmless. Remember how they say how all these people and all these political things, it's just marijuana. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. Well, you tell that to the 3 victims that are lying dead right now, that marijuana is no big deal. You tell that to the victim's family, that marijuana is no big deal. Now, granted, I know we have marijuana users in our chat, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with adults using it properly for medical conditions and however their states are designed. But don't ever think that street drugs are okay. They're dangerous no matter what level of street drug you're using. These dispensaries and stuff, if they made all of this legal and the dispensaries open throughout the states, we wouldn't have these drug deals on the corner. We wouldn't have to be worrying about our young kids being gunned down. I'm sorry. I don't do or use the marijuana products. My friend, she has a doctor prescription. She uses everything with THC in it, down to the ointment. Like I remember I had my shoulders when I was doing drywall, because of my neck problems and my back problems. I was doing she was moving a door in her house, so I was there, filling the door. The door was moved down like 6 feet, so we had to put the drywall in to cover the old opening of the door. And so I was, up there. I twisted just wrong on the ladder, and it started shooting pain, like sharp pain in my shoulder. And so she got her THC lotion, and I have to be honest with you, it got the pain out. So, I do realize that some of these products do work. So I'm not dogging or knocking that, but I'm just so sick and tired of people saying that it's not a dangerous drug, because I believe that drug right there, that little marijuana drug, is what killed 3 people in this case. Something that stupid. While normally for normal people, yeah, like I said, Miss Potty Mouth, I know there's people that use it. and you use it properly, I don't see you going to the street corner to buy your dope. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see it. Maybe you do. I don't know. But I think as us older people, you know, we go, if that was the case, I don't see us, you know, buying from somebody we don't trust. You know, we're not getting robbed by our neighbor, you know, that's giving us, you know, what are sacks? I don't even know what it is. A dime bag? Sounds so stupid. I don't know what they go for. I mean, when we had like dime bags and quarter sacks. That was back in my day, right? Going back to when Bullhorn Betty was like 15 and 16. That's what we had. Dime bags and quarters. That's all we got. I mean, you didn't get anything more than that, right? So it's just you know, young kids, right? So that would be awful if these 3 kids bought a dime bag, right, and just lost their life because they wanted a dime bag of weed. I mean, that's like a joint. That's like a joint. But that's what we had. That's what we had. And but you know, even then, when I was younger and doing this, I didn't know that I could potentially be putting myself into harm's way to buy marijuana. They were going to rob these people for their marijuana. And remember, I even said, what did I say? I'm telling you, Bullhorn Betty channel gets a lot right. I don't even have information of this case, right? I'm going purely by instinct and gut and looking at them and trying to read them as the victims. And what was the one thing I said? I said, I believe that this has something to do with marijuana. Remember me saying that? Remember me saying that? This article confirmed that. That was just a speculation and theory, by the way. You know, that stuff that people hate us doing over here. Well, we obviously have ESP, or we have a really great person that knows how to read cases, right? So I'm very proud of the work we did. I'm very proud of the work we continue to do. And I'm very proud when we continuously get things right and everybody's trying to say we spread misinformation. Okay, clearly you're not watching. Anyways, guys, I love you. I'm getting out of here. God bless you and have an amazing day until we get this live up and running, which we will get it up and running just as soon as I get out in place in Marion County. Again, we're going out. We're going to hit all of these spots. We're going to take a lot of footage, and then I'm going to start making my way back to Bradenton. Maybe if I'm back early enough tonight, we'll have another live, or we're going to have just Coffee Club first thing in the morning. As soon as Coffee Club is over, I'm going to be heading out and getting to Savannah, Georgia. It's kind of crazy that I'm leaving Georgia to go all the way back to Florida to come all the way back to Georgia, which is what I was trying to avoid. But here's the kicker. So when I packed my bag, I packed plenty of undergarments. I'll go into all of that. Packed plenty of that. I packed plenty of socks, and I packed plenty of pants. I didn't pack plenty of shirts. I've got like literally 3. I don't know how I did that. I never do this, but I'm on like day 2. Like I wore a different shirt yesterday, but I'm on day 2 of Team Foul Play, Dolly Vision, Bullhorn Betty. Okay. It's time for me to go home and freshen up my laundry and my wardrobe. So I need to wash clothes. The good news is that everything under this is all nice and clean. So you don't have to worry about it. Right. But I have a problem wearing the same shirt, and I could probably take it up to a washing machine, you know, something stupid, but the money I'm going to save by going home for a night versus staying in a hotel, it's going to be worth the drive, and it's not a big deal. And then I'll be back at my favorite place in Savannah, Georgia. I think that's it. I think that's all the stuff that I needed to go over. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. So we also have the raffle for the free shirt or free Bullhorn Betty shirt from Sonia's shop, or one of the hats. I don't care which one you guys get. You guys get to pick either a shirt or a hat of your choosing that's on the Bullhorn Betty line. It could be for you. It could be for a friend. If you want to, you can even gift your prize away to a friend or somebody else in this chat if you so chose. But just let you know, there's not really a whole lot. I'm not really picky on who gets it, but we will call the winner of the raffle on Saturday morning, 8 a.m. That means we start at 6:30 and an hour and a half into our commentary. But before we leave, about a half hour before we shut the live down, we will be providing the system will generate. It has a button on there that says select a winner. So I just click the button and it's going to pull somebody's name from the drawing, and whoever pulled from the drawing, you're going to get to pick, and you can pick. I didn't go ahead and pre-purchase this. We didn't have any of this stuff pre-made or anything like that. And I did it this way so you can pick whatever theme you want and whatever size shirt you want. I was worried that if I went ahead and ordered the shirts, I didn't need to because we have Sonia. She's very good, easy to work with. But I was scared that if we bought the shirts, we got like small, medium, large, and extra large, then there might be 2 mediums and somebody doesn't have a good fitting shirt. So I figured with them being able to pick their own size, their own style of hat or shirt, it would be a win-win for everybody. So that's kind of how we did it. But we're really making great progress. I just want to let you know that I did check the numbers out today. Hold on. Better. Okay. Just a second. And I will tell you. That's not what I need. I need the sign in. Where's my sign in? There we are. Get to my dashboard. We have 63 entries. We have 63 entries. So 63 tickets have been sold. That is amazing, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So we have 63 tickets sold. So if you want to go ahead and get your ticket, I know that they're putting the link here in the ticket, and Sepsis just put the Facebook page for Sonia out. So you can go check out the shirts. And also, if you want to, whenever you become the winner, Sonia will be happy to send you an email with all the shirts she has for Bullhorn Betty, and you can just pick whatever shirt or hat again that you want. I'll pay her for the shipping and everything. Everybody will be happy, and she sends it with a lot of love. I mean, that's why we're getting it from her. And, we could purchase something from Teespring. We don't know where it came from. We don't know who made it. It takes forever to get to you. Or we can use Sonia, which is near and dear to us. She is a great mod here. She does a lot of work for the Bullhorn Betty channel. And so we love to promote people doing the right thing and doing good. And she is always doing the right thing and always doing good. So with that being said, can't wait. Keeping fingers crossed. You guys got until Friday at 8 p.m. to get your tickets. And a winner will be called on Saturday, 8 a.m. sharp. So can't wait to call the winner. Can't wait to make somebody's day. So hi, Turtle King. Is Dolly in the house? Well, hello, Dolly. I was in your chat room at like 3:30 this morning. I was so tired, but I haven't watched you live. I haven't been able to catch a full live. And then I like, as I was watching, I was starting to fall asleep. So I'm like, I just need to get out of here. I need to go back to bed, which I did for a couple more hours. I didn't get up until like 5:30. And so it was nice. It was nice. I hope you're doing well. I'm about to head, just to let you know, I'm about to head to Marion County to cover the 3 victims that were shot by those suspects. The third suspect was apprehended, which was Tahj Brewton. Tahj Brewton. This is the one that was on the run. There was 3 assailants and 3 victims. But there was one report that came out, Dolly, and I want you to hear this, that Camille Quarles, the way that they had done it, it was on a Fox 35 in Orlando. And the way that they stated it, it almost sounded like Camille Quarles, one of the victims, was actually part of this scheme, because they were talking about them shooting the 2 people in the front seat. The 12-year-old made the statement to law enforcement that they shot the 2 people, Layla Silvernail, and the male subject, which they have not identified the third victim yet, in the head. And they dropped Layla right there at where they shot her. And then they ended up pushing the guy out of the car around the corner from where they left her. But the 12-year-old told law enforcement that Camille was on the back of the car on her own free volition, which basically she was okay. It seemed they almost implied she was okay with her friends being shot. And the 12-year-old goes on further to say that he had to kill her. The other two made him kill her. They threatened to kill his family if he didn't kill her, and they wanted her dead because they knew that she would snitch on them. And that's why she lost her life. So this all sounds like four people set this robbery up to rob Layla and her male friend. And it sounds like Camille may have been part of it, based on this Fox 35 news report. So I'm hoping that's not the case, because, you know, she's a victim, and I'd hate for her as a victim to have her name sullied like this. And it's not Bullhorn Betty making this leap. It's kind of Fox 35 that's making this leap. And I'm also going to go out to Marion County and go by the sheriff's department and introduce myself and see if I can help, if I can, you know, buy them lunch today, the entire department. I want to find out how many people work in the department, and see if they'll be willing to take, you know, a pizza day. You know, I'd like to do something special for them for the great job that they have done. So we'll see how all that works out, but I'm about to pipe it down here and about to head out. I'm still in Georgia, so I'm going to head to Marion. I'm going to go home for a night, and then I'm heading back to Savannah, Georgia, to follow, you know, to be there present in the courtroom when they're, and listen to the legal arguments for the motion to remove the counts. And they're trying to throw out the murder count on Leilani Simon. So I want to hear that, and I don't want to be able to miss that footage. And if I'm not there, then they're not, the pooled press is not required to send me the pooled video, and I want the pooled video. So I've got to be there in person if I'm going to get that. So it is what it is, but I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Dolly, thanks for swinging by. It's always nice to have the Turtle King in the house. It's much appreciated. I hope you're doing well. You're up awfully early. I would expect you to be in bed until about this time tonight. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Yeah, you take care, and have a great day. God bless. And for the rest of the people in the chat as well, you guys take care. Have a wonderful day. And we got a little hi from the Turtle King himself. So it's always nice to see him in the house. All right, guys, take care. I love you, and we'll see you soon.